Okay, back here at Unicoi Gap for the start. Hey, my nephew Caleb dropping me off for the start of the hike for a couple of weeks here at Unicoi Gap, starting where I left off last year. So a bunch of hikers here. I'll pan around so you can see I'm not alone this time. So getting ready to take off up the trail up the mountain there and get to the next shelter about 7.5 miles away and camp in for the night. Beautiful day, overcast, gonna beat the rain to the shelter, I hope. And check in with everybody later.
Good luck.
See you later, day one.
All right, I am 3.7 miles in on my hike today. It's been slow progress because it's mostly been uphill. I'm on a little blue trail to the side. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I wanted to see this place. This is a little side excursion. It's the site of the cheese factory, where a settler came out here in the mid-1800s and built a cheese factory here by this little stream, and his cheese became famous throughout the states. There's nothing left here now. A little pile of rocks, little creek, and a little dam down there you probably can't see too well that he built, but wanted to come see it and kind of be in a spot of one of the 1800s frontiersmen that came on ahead of here. I've got about 3 miles to go yet to get to my shelter for tonight, and I am looking forward to dinner and sleep. It's 4:30. I think I am only about probably less than half a mile to the Unicoi Gap shelter now, which is good because I am ready for the shelter. I don't know if you can see the views, the fog's rolling in. There's a bit of a storm coming. There's down trail and there's up trail. I've got just a little more up to do before a descent of about 3/10 of a mile, and then I should be to the shelter. So I think I'm almost there. Okay, I was wrong. That was not the summit of Tray Mountain. This is the summit. Look at this view. Yeah, check this out. If you can see that. Just gorgeous. So now I know I've got 0.3 miles. It's all downhill. There's a blaze on the trail to follow. Goes over all these rocks. The trail kind of disappears back there in the brush. And in 0.3 miles, I will be to my shelter for tonight. Okay, I made it to the shelter, and but a lot of really nice people there. I'll get some video of the shelter when I go back up. The shelter sleeps 7, and there's 6 of them. They were able to squeeze over and make room for me, so I'll be in a shelter tonight. We're expecting a storm. Came down here about 0.2 mile to the water source, and here it is. Nothing fancy. There's a little reservoir here. It comes out of a little pipe and comes right down into the water here. It's interesting because I'm looking down there and I'm seeing what look like worms. See those little dudes? Yeah, that's kind of concerning. But anyway, I'll put my poison in the water there and kill whatever it is. There's an old structure here. I don't know if that was an original shelter or what, but there's an old kind of ruins here. And I haven't found the privy yet, but I will soon. So I'm going to get my water, cook my dinner for tonight, use the privy, and go to bed. Get some sleep. I'll edit and upload all this video, I think, tonight before I go to sleep if I can get a signal. It's been a good first day. I wanted to get some video of the Tray Mountain shelter here before I go to bed. There's someone tent camping near the shelter there. And then there's the shelter. Not big. Just sleep 7. I'm going to make some dinner and get some sleep. There's a big storm coming tonight. Well, it is day 2 on the Appalachian Trail. This is the view I had expected to be hiking today. I stayed last night at the Tray Mountain Shelter. but it is pouring rain and extremely cold, like in the 40s. So I decided to take a 0 day and stay here in the shelter. There's some tarps up over the entrance of the shelter to keep the wind out. I got my bed all set up over here. And I'm the only one here during the day taking a 0 day. I'm not going to do miles today. But I'm definitely just going to hang out here for the day and sleep and read a little and stay warm. And I'm wearing my raincoat inside to stay warm because it's rather nippy. I'm just going to stay curled up in my bed and sleep all day and rest up. And then tomorrow I'll do a double day to get caught back up again. Day 3, about 10 o'clock in the morning, here at Trail Mountain Shelter. The rain has stopped, the sun has come out, it's warmed up to about 40 degrees, maybe 45. Today, I am either hiking to the next shelter, Deep Gap Shelter, or which is 7.5 miles, or I'm going to go 11 miles to the road and going to Hiawassee to a hiker hostel. It got much colder last night than expected, and tonight is supposed to be down in the low 30s, and I need to get another warm pair of clothes. So I may push that 11 miles today, going to Hiawassee. Yes, I'll happen to hit the amazing buffet while I'm there, or I'll just stay at the shelter. I haven't decided yet, but more video to come. I'm about 3.5 miles in on the hike for today. Just wanted to show this view here coming around this little mountainside. I think I've got a descend for a while now. I'm going to get about another mile or so in and stop for a lunch break and then keep on going. Made it to Addis Gap. I'm about 5.5 miles in for the day. I've either got a 1.8 mile hike to the shelter, or I'm going to go another 5.3 miles and then go into Hiawassee for the night. Got a little climb, like a 1,000-foot elevation climb to do between here and the shelter, and when I get to the shelter I'll decide what I'm doing for tonight. But the weather is clear and beautiful and about 50 degrees and breezy, so I might just be able to hike in till around 7:30 or so tonight and go into town. Not sure yet. Oh, what a good day. I've just made it. Did a little over 11 miles today. I'm so glad I pushed past that last shelter and did these. I flew these last 3.6 miles, just flew. And here I am coming up here on Dix Creek Gap. You can see some of the cars down there. My driver should be here in a little bit to take me to the most amazing buffet where I'm going to do some serious damage. And then to the Holiday Inn Select next door for the night. I need to get some work done there on the computer and rest up a bit. And tomorrow I'm going to do a double day, and that puts me back on schedule from the rain day that I skipped. So glad to be here. It's just been beautiful, and God's been out here every step of the way. This is Daniel's Steakhouse Buffet. I walked 11 miles. I hope I can get in the door before they close. I have like 2 minutes. I made it. Look at this food. Look, fried pork chops, fried chicken, greens, water, tea, water, half and half. Sugar-free dessert, salad, and they're so nice. Oh, let's get to work. Well, it's the morning of day 4. I'm here at Dix Creek Gap. Had a great night's sleep in the hotel last night. Went out and bought a nice warm coat. Supposed to get down in the 30s tonight. And I'm heading off for the day. The first shelter is about 5 miles away, so I may do that or I may go a little further. But it's going to be a beautiful day hike today. I'm about a mile or so out of Dix Creek Gap. You can see the trail coming up there. Real nice section of the trail, mostly mulchy, not too rocky. Coming up to a little campsite here. on the top of this hill here. Somebody left a gallon of water on the roadside for anybody that would need it. It's called Trail Magic. You find all sorts of stuff. You come up here and look off. Just a real pretty view. Bunch of campsites down here for tent camping, and just a beautiful day. It's about 55 degrees. You can see the trail going down here. It's one of the famous white blazes on the tree that we're supposed to be following. And right down there is a little sign that says water downhill, continuing on down the trail. Just a beautiful day. What a view. Alright, I'm standing at the top of Bull Gap, 3,500 foot elevation, about to make the 600 foot descent down to the shelter for the night. I'm still on the descent down to Plum Orchard Shelter. But I wanted to show you here the trail a few times on the hike so far, since starting at Springer Mountain, Georgia. You come into these little hamlets of green trees, and the trail goes right through it. Even though there's not much blooming right now, all the trees are still barren. These are all bright green, and the trail just kind of cuts through. There's the trail there. Just kind of cuts through these little trees. I'll walk down the trail here a little bit. Give you an idea, it's a pretty steep descent here, but there's lots of roots, and it's dry, so you don't have to worry about slipping. But don't know what these are, but they sure are pretty. And it's a nice break from all the brown, descending down into the valley. Probably about a half mile to go till the shelter. Show you this waterfall. Up there in the green covered moss rocks, the water just trickles out from everywhere. It comes down under these logs, and finally right here, coming down this little creek. There's been no shortage of water today. And right here by this uprooted tree base I'm standing in front of. Well, I've arrived at Plum Orchard Shelter. One of the cooler shelters. It's got 3 levels in it. You can sleep about 14 people. Let me show it to you. Here, you have to hike about 0.3 miles off the trail to get to it. But it's pretty cool. There's a couple of guys there now, so I don't want to zoom in on them. You never know if they want to be seen or not. Pretty cool shelter. Show you around a little bit. I'm not going to stay in the shelter tonight. It's supposed to be down to the low 30s. So I'm going to set up back here. Got my tent set up already. It's nice and close to the privy. The water is about 1/10 of a mile down trail. I'm going to go down and water up in a little bit. Privy's right over there. You probably can't see it. Nope. Can't see it. But here's my tent. First time I've used it on this trip. Should be a little warmer tonight. But I like this tent because it's got a front porch on it. That so you can keep your shoes and stuff out here on the front porch. And then go inside. You got lots of room. I'll shoot a little more video later when I'm all set up down there. But let me see if I can show you the privy. Nothing too fancy to these. These are composting privies, meaning that all the human waste goes into like a screen box, and you throw wood chips on top of it. There's a big barrel of wood chips, and everybody's supposed to contribute wood chips. And then it just biodegrades, comes down off the bottom, and then when the local hike clubs that volunteer here to take care of the shelter come around, they just take all that out and spread it out into the woods. It's all completely composted. Let me show you. This is a really nice one. It's got a roof for rain. It's got, ooh, isn't that pretty? Bucket of wood chips. Bucket, yeah, you don't want to look in there. Really nice one compared to some of the others. And then everything kind of, they rake it all out, put it out down there on the bottom. It goes back out into nature. So while I'm here, I might as well make sure it works properly. Then I'm going to finish setting up. I scored a couple of pork chops and pieces of fried chicken from the buffet last night that I froze in my room in the refrigerator overnight, and I packed it in here with me. It's been cold enough. It's probably okay. And I'm going to get a little fire going and heat up those pork chops and chicken and eat that for dinner tonight. And drink a lot of water, feeling a little dehydrated today. And then I think I'm going to get to sleep pretty early, maybe around 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. Sounds good. Tomorrow I should be crossing over the border into North Carolina, and tomorrow's got a lot of up and down mountains, and make it to the next shelter. But it's been a really good day. There's some really interesting people camped out here in the shelter. One guy has been staying here off and on for a month or so. He's writing a book, and he's interesting. And a couple of other people I met on the trail are starting to filter in tonight. So I'll probably hang out in the shelter. They already got a little fire going. Hang out by the fire for a while, and then crawl off in my tent and get some sleep. So should be a good night. It is the ending of day 4. I just finished eating some delicious pork chops and chicken left over from the buffet last night that I carried up here in my backpack. A good day, 4.6 miles, that's all, but it was mostly uphill, and then the drop down into the valley where the shelter is here. So there's about 20 people camped out here, but set up in the tent here, so wanted to show you around a little bit. Got all my gear laid out here next to me. Up above, there's a little compartment to hang things. I've got tomorrow's breakfast, oatmeal, which is okay to have in here at night because I don't think the bears are going to come sniffing around for oatmeal. I don't even want it. My fork, some cards. I might sit in here tonight and play cards. Of course, butt wipes, some gloves. But the nice thing about this tent is it's got this little porch out here, so you can keep your shoes and everything outside under the awning and keep all your belongings in here. My comfy blow-up pillow and blow-up mattress and all of that. I'm going to keep my phone in this case. I dropped it today and I have a crack in my screen. I'm very excited. So hopefully I won't lose use of this phone before the trip's over. Oh, I was going to tell you about this. Okay, this little monkey here, my godson Pearson gave me this little monkey last year. I brought it on the trip in September, and I'm bringing it with me now. And yeah, his eyes light up. And monkey has been hanging on my backpack. And there's a tradition, you know, of everybody having a trail name. And somebody came through and saw my monkey and asked me about it and gave me the trail name Monkey. I think it's also because how I'm built. But anyway, so my official Appalachian Trail name is now Monkey, for better or worse. So I'm going to lay here for a while and finish my trail mix for today and then put on my nice new jacket that I bought in Hiawassee and go on out and hang out with the guys around the fire for a little bit before I turn in. I got to look over the map for tomorrow and decide what tomorrow's goal is and then try to get up and out of here early. So it's the ending of day 4. It's been a good day. All right, it is Thursday. It's the morning of day 5. Had a great night's sleep in the tent last night. Good company around the fire. Just a lot of really neat people around the fire. Met a guy named Carver that's living on the trail and makes little sculptures and carvings out of rock and animal bones and sells them to fund his lifestyle. A lot of really nice people. So today I just finished filling up my canteen here, having a little cherry high C for a little extra vitamin C this morning. There's the pipe for the water coming out of the ground there to make it a little easier to get to. Today, got about 4.5 miles to the Georgia-North Carolina border. So it's going to be nice to have Georgia finished. Then I'm going on to the first shelter is about 7.5 miles. I may stay there. If I feel really good, I may push on another 4 miles to the next shelter. But we'll just see how I do, see how I feel, see how the day goes. A lot of elevation changes. There's 3 climbs of 1,000-foot elevation changes today. And then, of course, the drops that go with them. So we'll just see how all that goes. But I'm going to hit the trail. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, I'm about 4 miles in for today. Got about a half a mile to go to the Georgia-North Carolina border. Really needed to stop and eat lunch. I'm at an elevation of about 3,600 feet. I found this neat little rock outcropping that sticks out. You get a great view of the mountains and everything. So I thought I'd stop here. I was really needing to eat. So I'm having lunch today with Sweet Sue and having a bunch of chicken. Got a couple McDonald's mayonnaise packs mixed in there. I've got my trail mix and beef stick. I already ate my cheese stick and another protein bar for later. So that's about 60 grams of protein for lunch and another 10 in my trail mix for the afternoon to get me through to dinner. Still don't know how far I'm going to go. When I get to the first shelter, I'll decide. Maybe I'll stop and eat a dinner or something at the shelter and then keep going. I don't know yet. But met a lot of really, really nice people on the trail today. And just an absolutely beautiful day. Got real warm. My shirt was drenched, so I've hung it on the back of my backpack to dry it off and put on my second shirt. So I hope to dry that one out because it's a long sleeve one and I want to wear it tonight, stinky or not. So that's all for now. I'm just going to sit here on this outcropping and enjoy all my chicken salad and get back on the trail. Well, I am definitely happy. I came across the border between North Carolina and Georgia. Right here's the sign. Woo! Never so happy to see that. Come here. Nice, you're a good sign. And now I'm going to hike about 3 more miles to the shelter for the day. Just like 1/10 of a mile past the Georgia-North Carolina border. This is a tree that is often photographed up here at Winging Gap on the top here. And continuing my ascent of the mountain, but wanted to stop and get this very old tree. This view here. About halfway up the side of this mountain. A little foggy. And then there's the trail still going up. Okay, it is the end of day 5, about 6:30. Made it to Muskrat Shelter. You can see there behind. Bunch of nice folks here. A lot of people tent camping. I've got the tent set up for tonight. It was 7.4 miles up 3 mountains. A lot of climbing today, so we're real tired. And I'm going to eat my Mountain House chicken Alfredo and a little oatmeal bar and get to sleep. Try to get 12 hours sleep tonight. So a real good ending to day 5. Show you around the shelter here a little bit. No frills. Little fireplace. My little green tent set up over here. And just a real good day. I hiked a good portion of the day with a man named Tigger, which goes well with Monkey. So we had a good hike together. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for today. See what tomorrow has in store. All right, it is the morning of day 6, about 9:30 in the morning. For me, I'm getting an early start. Most people are out of here by about 8:30, but I'm still at Muskrat Shelter, getting ready to leave here. Still a couple people behind me, and not sure where I'm heading today. I've got a couple of options. I may go on to the next shelter or the one after that. I'm thinking I might hit a road and hitch a ride into Franklin a day early, pick up my supplies, and then I can get back on the road. And then I have no goals between here and the end of the hike, and I can kind of pace things a little differently. But today should be a nice one. Some ups and downs. It doesn't look like anything too crazy strenuous, and it's an absolutely beautiful day. So I'm hiking with a bunch of neat people, with Tinkles, Puppy Chow, hiking with the Duke, and with Tigger, that goes well with Monkey, and of course Treebeard, that I was following on YouTube, and the mayor and so on, and a few others. So lots of really interesting, neat people. And I will try to get some views today into as well. 'Tis all. The different terrains, sometimes just sandy, sometimes rocky, muddy, lots of muddy today. Check this out. Come down from there, it's all rocks. All these rocks and green moss. Go down, jump over, navigate down all these rocks. Looks like that continues quite a way down. I'm on my final 3/4 mile descent down to Deep Gap so I can get a ride into Franklin. Look at this mountain view. Well, I guess you can tell I'm off the trail. I got a ride into Franklin, picked up my box of supplies that I had sent from home a week or so ago. And there was no room at that motel, but they have a partner motel. Boy, I'm really looking scrappy. Anyway, but they have a partner hotel. So, got a ride over there. And am enjoying this delicious cookies that my wife sent to me in a care package. And some money. And just got up here to let me show you around let me show you what a $40 luxury trail room will buy you. You can stay in the hostel for $15 and share a bunk bed room with 20 other people. But I've been living and smelling these people for a week, so I thought I'd get away from them for the night. Show you what $40 buys. Yes, here's the parlor. Ooh. That looks nice. Excuse me, choking on my delicious cookie. Compared to the privies, the organic composting privies that are trail side, yeah, that bathroom looks really, really nice. I am going to walk across the street to McDonald's and try to up my McLesterol, and then come back here to the room and get on the Wi-Fi and get a little bit of work done for a couple of hours. Civilization is beautiful. Bye. It is the morning of day 7, Saturday, April 12th, I guess it would be, the day before Palm Sunday. And I'm hiking here, just left Deep Gap. Kathy, the driver, just dropped me off after a good night's stay in a hotel and some good pizza leftovers for breakfast. I'm fueled up and ready to go. Today I'm going to be going up and up and over Standing Indian, past the shelter to Carter Shelter, about 8.5 miles, and see what happens from there. Just came across this neat little bridge here that the local hike club built. I'll show you that. It's pretty cool. It'd be a little tricky to navigate around this without it, and those make a big difference. So today's hike should be pretty nice, and I will try to get some more scenic shots as we go. It's a crystal clear day. It's probably 50, maybe 55 degrees. It's supposed to get up to about 70 today, and that's the mountain there that I came over yesterday to get down to the Gap, where Kathy gave me a ride into town, and heading up over some bigger ones today. That's all for now. Two and a quarter miles in on Standing Indian Mountain, coming up on the summit. Bunch of little birds up here. Just come to look over this. Not quite at the top of the summit. I believe that's it there. And then a lovely descent down, then up and over another mountain to the shelter. And we'll see what we do once we get to Carter Shelter. Just beautiful today, getting warm. I'm gonna have to stop and put on a short sleeve shirt pretty soon. The danger is you don't want to get too sweaty. Standing Indian Mountain here, or at least the shelter's called Standing Indian. And been hiking a couple hours. Come up here now to the summit. There's a little blue trail off the main trail, and takes you up here about 1/10 of a mile up to the summit of the mountain. Oh, look at this. Oh, man. You could just build a shelter here and stay forever. Look at this. Not sure how much you can see through the fog. But check out this view. There's evidence of fires here. Probably a real popular camping spot. I met some guys coming up the trail that I passed for a change that were heading up here to camp out for a couple days. And just looking here at my little pocket map, it says here that this is elevation 5,498 feet up here. I started this morning at 4641, so a little over 1,000 feet up. Started way down there in that little valley. But just look at how beautiful, and look at the skies today. Stunning. I'm heading in that direction. I'm going to walk back down to the main trail. Then I get to go down for a while. But while I'm up here, I'm going to change out of this shirt. It's getting too hot, and if you sweat, then you go down the cold side of the mountain where the breeze is. You get a chill and a cold, so I'm going to avoid that. One more shot at this incredible view. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Here in North Carolina, there's been a lot of these beautiful little streams and waterfalls, but I wanted to film this one. It's at about mile 91. Absolutely beautiful. Goes on down the hill. There's no shortage of drinking water here. This is cold and absolutely crystal clean. Well, it's about 3 o'clock on day 7. Made it to the Carter Gap shelter. Made really good time. Um, about 8.5 miles in only 5 hours. Just a really nice walk today. Um, but I'm going to keep moving on. There's a couple of tent camping spots farther down. It's 6 miles now. I'm at 94 miles here. It's 6 miles to the 100-mile point, which is the very top of Albert's Mountain, with a watchtower up there. I think that'd be a really neat place to be tonight and watch the stars and be there for sunrise in the morning. I don't know if I can make it 6 more miles since it's already about 3:30 by the time I leave here. But I'm going to head out and see what happens. I don't mind hiking till 7:30 or 8 o'clock when it gets dark. So we'll see. There's a couple places to tent camp and one more water source before that mountain. This water source here is a little bit light. Got water coming right out under this stone here. Little natural spring coming right out, but not much room, no real running water. If I was going to spend the night here, I would pile up some rocks around it and try to get a better water system going here, but I'm not, so I'm going to go ahead and just fill up my gallon of water and hit the bricks. But it's a real nice shelter, real nasty privy, and a lot of nice folks here. But I think I'm going to keep moving down the trail at least a few more miles to the next tent camping spot, if not a little further. So, all for now. I've been walking for about a mile or so through this neat little cove here with rhododendron growing up on both sides and some scrub oaks or things growing up on both sides. And look at the trail. It's got little vines growing on the two sides, and it's just been this really nice descent. Real pretty. Feels like there should be hobbits running around. I'm heading down to Betty Creek, I believe is what it is. Maybe another mile or so. I may stop there. It's about 4:30, maybe almost 5. I may stop there for the night and then climb up Albert Mountain. If there's anybody there that wants to go up Albert Mountain today, maybe I will. And get up to the tower tonight on top of Albert's Mountain, probably just before dark, but not sure. But I just wanted to share this very cool trail, showing all the variety on there. People that I've talked to about hiking the AT, they'll often say, well, isn't it boring just walking along every day, all day? Because you walk, 6-8 hours a day. And no, it's hard sometimes, but the challenges are worth it when you get to the views and dinner. But the terrain is just a little bit different every single corner, every single curve, and you never know what's coming up ahead. Like as we turn here, I keep going up. There's little birdies jumping up ahead there. Ooh, a little split off the trail for a view. This is cool. Didn't know this was here. Let's check this out. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Takes your breath away. Literally, figuratively. Takes your breath away. Oh. So it makes it worth it. Oh, see, I'm not alone. Look, sorry, hope you don't mind the camera. I'll turn you off now. At long last today, I've arrived at Betty Creek Gap. Did 12.2 miles today, which is the farthest on the trip, I think, so far. A very good day. I'm going to go up here and see if there's some tent camping spots. I know there's a lot of people probably here, and spend the night here tomorrow and make some dinner, set up the tent. Glad I brought it. And this will be a nice ending to day 7. Found a great little spot down here by the creek. Got Couple of the guys here, real nice. Already got a fire going, camp set up. Should be a nice spot. Plenty of drinking water anyway.
Time to eat and sleep.
It's the morning of day 8, Sunday, April 13th. It is Palm Sunday. And just had the nicest night here, hanging out with 2 guys from Alabama that are section hiking also. We came down off the trail, down by the river to get away from all the other campers that are tent camping up there. There's no shelter here. And just stayed by this beautiful creek last night. Listened to the creek babble all night long. And today is my last full day and night on the trail. Tomorrow I'll be getting off. And the last stretch here before I head home. And we stayed last night here at Betty Creek Gap, which is at 97.8 miles. So today we'll hit 100 miles. That 100 miles is on the top of Albert Mountain, which is about 1,000 feet up from here. There's a lookout tower there, so I'm really looking forward to spending some time. I'm going to hike up there the 2.5 miles and have lunch there, and probably plan to stay for a while once I get up there. And then I've got a few miles after that to get to one shelter, or maybe skip it and go to the next, depending on how I'm feeling. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain, so I want to get as far as I can today to make tomorrow a little shorter. But nice day. Had a great scrambled eggs breakfast. I found out that if you cut up the beef jerky and the cheese stick and put it into the Mountain House powdered scrambled eggs, that it's and put in some salsa from Taco Bell packages. You do all that into that package, and it's still pretty bad. But it was fun, and it was protein. So, all right, well, heading out for the day. I'm sure there'll be some nice shots going up Albert Mountain.
Wow. Well, here's a bit of trail magic. I'm about 1.5 miles into my hike here on Palm Sunday, and a local, a hiking club from South Carolina has stopped. They're giving away hot dogs and sodas and chili to hikers as they go by. Isn't this nice? And a nice warm fire to sit and dry out by. So I enjoyed a really nice chili dog, and I'm gonna get back on the trail.
Well, right now I'm at about 99 3/4 miles. This is the last 1/4 mile push. You can see it's going up, up, up right there to the 100-mile mark, which is on the top of Albert Mountain. Runs alongside a little road here, Albert Mountain Road, I would imagine. This is the same road that if I were to walk it down, takes me back to where the folks were giving out the food. That's tempting. Or back to where we slept last night by that stream, because the road ran right through the back of our camp. But I will stay true to the trail and hike up trail here. This is supposed to be a crazy demanding 1/4 mile of lots of climbing, even to get up to the top of Albert Mountain, to the lookout tower, where I'm going to stop and take a nice long break before I begin the descent down to one of 2 shelters for tonight. Oh, still huffing and puffing up Albert Mountain. This is some tough stuff. Coming up over this, I don't know if you can even see how steep it is. Get to here, rocks to step over. And then, see the white blaze on the rock there? You just got to go up and around those rocks and climb it up and over those. So, top of the mountain, I can see blue sky up there, but you never know if it's a false summit. So I probably got almost 1/4 mile to go to get to the top. I think it's going to be 1/4 mile of this, but the view should be worth the reward. That and having it behind me. A good idea. I'm going to try to climb it up now that I'm back on 2 feet instead of all 4s. I'm going to try to tape some of this while walking up. Some of it. Nice views. A little warm today, but a breeze. The trail goes that way. There's another white mark on that rock. It's about my normal crawling uphill pace. I make funny noises. Oh. Woo! Looks like it flattens out a little bit up there. I'm gonna need both hands to get up and over this next one. Surely don't want to fall down there. Nope. Okay. Need both hands. The white blaze on the rock. Just a little bit higher. There's the lookout tower on Albert Mountain. Check out this view already. Looks like I just got one more push up and over these last few rocks, and then I'm on the top. Well, made it to the top of Albert Mountain. Whew, that was quite a climb. And just had lunch with 3 guys here that I keep leapfrogging with. They were a little ahead of me, so we stopped and had lunch here together. They took off. I'm gonna stay and just spend some time here and enjoy this view. Check this out. And then I've got a choice of 2 shelters from here. I thought of just sleeping up here tonight. It's one of the highest points in the section, but I would have to do 9.5 miles tomorrow to get down to the road in time to get into town tomorrow night for my flight the next day. And there's supposed to be thunderstorms tomorrow, and I don't want to do this descent in the rain. So I want to get as close to the road as I can by either doing the 3 miles or the 6 miles to the next shelter, and that only leaves me a few miles in the rain maybe on Monday. Maybe I can get up early and beat the rain. But today was definitely a beautiful, beautiful Palm Sunday hike up to this incredible view. Here's the view from the tower. You can't go into the platform room on the very top. It's for fire service, I guess. But just amazing. That mountain you can see over there, that's Standing Indian Mountain that I was on yesterday. It's a few hundred feet higher than this one. This tower gives you quite a spectacular view down there. I will see some of the little roads and things that wind through the mountain. Probably crisscrossed that road a few times today. I love the shadows on the mountain. Then that's the direction that we're heading in. Down and over those and over the Appalachians mountains and into the Smokies, but not on this trip, but in the future. I made it here to Long Branch Shelter, but it's about 4:15 in the afternoon, but I'm going to go ahead and push on to the next one, about 3.5 miles. I can make it by 7 by dark, and that makes tomorrow a lot better. But I want to show you around this gorgeous shelter. It's brand new.
I ran into, I don't even know the names, Dad and the son. Oh, the old guy who's like not a Marine. They're like,
Lots of people here that I've been meeting with on the trail during the day. And a super nice privy down there that I visited. But I'm going to go ahead and push on. I got enough sunlight. So, down the trail. Well, there's my bag, my green bag hanging up on a tree, and I'm at Rock Gap Shelter. Actually, I'm standing here by the privy. It's really nasty. I'm going to walk over toward... Ooh, they got a fire going at the shelter. My last night on the trail for this section hike. We're at about 106 miles in on the trail. It's been a really, really nice day. Good dinner, chicken a la king tonight, and I'm going to go have a cookie that my loving wife mailed to me, and enjoy one more night. Got my tent all set up because the shelter is full, and then up real early in the morning and out down to the road to try to get a ride into Franklin. And it's been a great trip. Here's the stream here. Not much Not much to talk about there for water as I slip and fall. But there is another little spring over here, and I'm going to load up my water tonight. Again, I'm just tripping my way back to camp. But a nice ending to day 8. It's the morning of day 9. Down the trail go Dr. Whack, Piddles, and Sasquatch, I think his name is, yes. And downhill there is the shelter I stayed at last night. Actually, I tent camped. Tiny one. It's an oldie. It was built in the 60s. And today we are expecting thunderstorms. But I'm only heading 4 miles down to the road. This is day 9, the last day of this journey. And heading to the airport tomorrow to fly home. Looking forward to getting home. And but I'm gonna miss the trail. It's really been a good time. So 4-mile hike up and over one little mountain, about 300-foot elevation, mostly down, and then wait for a ride down there to get into Franklin. Don't know if I'm staying in Franklin tonight or if I'm gonna go early over and stay by the airport and in Asheville. So did something a little different this morning. Just got up, took meds, got packed, had a bunch of lemonade drink hanging right here, and hit the trail. I've got some breakfast bars and stuff in my pocket. I gave away my propane can to some people that are hiking on, so I won't need it today, but didn't cook a hot breakfast, and I might not do that anymore, or maybe just on rare occasions. It slows you down in the morning. It's nice to be able to hit the trail and just snack as you go. So, well, learn as you go. So, onward for today. Any pretty views I'll share, but prettiest thing I'm looking for today is some kind of really good lunch somewhere. Yes, I am a foodie on and off the trail. Nice easy slope. Much of the day should be like this today. Should be a real pleasant 4-mile hike, maybe 2.5 hours with, should there be any obstacles. And there's a shuttle, I think, at 11 that goes into town, so if I can make that, that'd be great. Either that or I'll hitch or wait for the next one. Coming up to Standing Indian Campground here, crossing the road, and there's a little trail running up the side of the mountain over there. That's where it continues. I am nearly to the top of my little mountain for today, the last mountain on my trip. It is so foggy today, misty, cold, and just the feeling that massive thunderstorms are going to break out at any moment. But I wanted to show you, there's a cool little bench somebody made for hikers to rest on. Probably could even camp here. And then the trail continues up there into the clouds. I think I'm almost on the top of this. I can't see it, but it's only about a 300-foot elevation, so I think I'm almost there. But just kind of wanders off into the mist there. There's probably a visibility of 100 feet, perhaps at most. And then I'll descend down to the road from there and hopefully get picked up before I get drenched. But it's still peaceful and beautiful. And another hiker's coming up behind here. I'm here at Winging Stair Gap, North Carolina. I'm waiting for the shuttle to pick me up, take me into Franklin. So this is where the hike's going to end for me for this section. I already can't wait to get back here in September, and I'll cross the road and go up over that mountain and head toward the Natahoe Outdoor Center. But it's been a great time. Can't wait to get back. Okay, I'm in Mulligan's Bar in Franklin, hanging out with some hikers, and it's karaoke night.
How was it? It's tricky. It's free to rock a rhyme, that's what all time is tricky. We're not thugs, you use drugs, but you were so on your own. They offer cold, lots of dope, but we just leave it alone. It's like that, y'all, but we don't quit. You keep on rock, shot, cause this is it.
So what do hikers sing when they're not on the trail?
But his speech Monday night after he passed he was like, my name might not be
Trail monkey.